Miss Alexander. I
Got
didn't
it.
even know about it.
So your wife took action without telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
That is unfortunate, but as your wife, she has the right to do that. Here on behalf of our plaintiff, Wong.
Charity Alexander, I'm property manager for Shilin Wong.
Good morning, Miss Alexander.
Good morning.
Do we have anyone here on behalf of Robert Polk? Mr. Polk, you're on mute, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Good morning, sir. Thank you for being with us today.
All Good morning, Your Honor.
Ms. Alexander, why is this eviction sought?
This eviction is sought because Mr. Polk has been a holdover tenant since May 1st of 2024. The issues really began in February. I issued a first eviction notice February 19th due to non-payment of rent. February 20th, I received a long email complaining about rats and repairs, which I forwarded off to my owner. And in addition to that email, he threatened me in that email if I stepped foot on the property. So with that, he did eventually pay the rent, and so we did not file eviction. However, we did issue a notice of non-renewal, which he refused to ever collect, but instead he issued us a notice, two notices. You can actually see in the documents that I provided, the email that he sent me in February said he planned to break the lease, and then the notice that he sent me in March said he planned to vacate the lease in accordance to his lease, which ended April 30th, 2024. He still has not vacated. None of his rent is subsidized. We are seeking rent as a holdover tenant, which according to his lease, paragraph 22, grants the landlord 3 times the rent on a prorated basis until Mr. Polk vacates. So we are seeking $6,880.
Ms. Alexander, what's the base rent?
$1,600 a month.
Got it. $1,600. Okay. And the lease came to an end in April?
Yes, ma'am.
And y'all told him you're not going to renew. And he also said, I'm moving out. I don't want to renew.
Correct.
But he did not move out at the end of April.
Correct.
So May he was a holdover, and now June.
Correct. And May 1st, we issued a notice, which was hand delivered to his sister, who was at the unit the day that I delivered the notice.
All right. To your knowledge, is Mr. Polk still in possession of the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Polk?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you renew your lease?
No, ma'am.
Why didn't you move out?
Your Honor. I never not paid them. I always paid them. I paid them all the way up to my lease was over April 30th.
Yeah, we're not here about non-payment. We're here about you staying after your lease ended. So you didn't renew and your lease came to an end, as you just said. Why haven't you moved out?
Okay, 4 days before my lease was up, she texted me and told me, you have 4 days to move. I called her. I said, Charity, Miss Alexander, I said, I need time. I said, I was thinking that y'all would give me another lease. I said, look here. I said, I would move.
Mr. Polk, you told them you didn't want to renew.
But, Your Honor, I told her I would move. I said, but it's going to take me a little time. If you at least give me to May, I'll pay the rent and everything for May. And she said, no. She said, we were having a problem with rats. Ever since I've been there, I've been having problems with rats. They never came to do anything until I called in code compliance. Code compliance came in and said they shouldn't even be renting the place out because they're eating up my food and everything. So I called her and I told her, I said, she didn't want to give me the month. She said, you got 4 days. She waited till 4 days before my lease was up to tell me she wasn't going to give me another lease. So I said, fine. I said, Miss Alexander, if you please just give me the month of May. I'll pay you for the month of May and I'll find a place to stay. She said, no, if you don't move out within 4 days, I'm going to charge you 3 times the rent. And I said, I don't have, I work for Texas Materials. I work 70-hour weeks. I work 15-hour shifts. I told her there's no way I'm going to be able to move out in 4 days, and I got a 3-bedroom duplex. And I tried to work with her. I didn't threaten her. She said I threatened her. I never threatened her.
Okay, Ms. Polk, let me get this straight. Miss Alexander, of the things that y'all submitted, I got a notice to vacate. Where's the notice from him saying, I don't want to live there anymore? Did you submit that to us?
I did. I submitted that. It is a document that is dated March 20th. It says, as permitted section property code, I hereby exercising my right to terminate my lease agreement. I'll be vacating the rented premises.
I see it.
He even gives a forwarding address.
Miss Alexander, I'm going to share my screen so he can see what you've given me. Okay. Oh, Monique, is Odyssey freezing for you?
It froze for me earlier and I had to open a whole nother Odyssey. I have it open here if you want me to share my screen.
No, I got it. What I realized is that it's not a full copy of it. It's like a cut-off version of it.
Yeah, I think that's what we received. I actually inputted this one.
Okay, let me just share my screen, Miss Alexander. And Mr. Polk, let me share my screen. Miss Alexander says that they received this letter from you. She says that this letter you sent to her or to the landlord March 20th that says, I will be vacating the premises on April 30th, and then it's signed here. And your explanation is that 2 failed attempts to solve rodents hasn't been done. City of Austin Code enforcement. They came out, they saw it. I'm exercising my rights to terminate the lease, and I'm leaving. Is this a letter that you sent to the landlord?
I never signed that. I never signed that, and I never signed that.
Mr. Polk, Mr. Polk, did you create this letter?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Do you have any idea where this letter came from?
From my wife, Your Honor.
From your wife? Does your wife live with you?
She wasn't, and she moved in. When she came and seen the rodents, she wrote the letter to Charity. That's what I was trying to tell Miss Alexander. I didn't even know about it.
So your wife took action without telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
That is unfortunate, but as your wife, she has the right to do that, which is.
I understand that, but
okay. So your wife did give a notice that y'all were leaving.
That's why she's saying that I'm threatening her. I never would threaten any woman.
Not concerned, Mr. Polk. I don't care. I don't hear that. That's not what I'm getting to. They got a letter from your wife on your behalf that said, I'm terminating my lease.
I understand.
Moving out. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
That they're allowed to act on that, to believe that because this letter was sent that says your information, it has all that information you gave me about the rats, that you don't want to be there anymore. And then the lease came to an end at the end of April.
Yes, ma'am, and I paid her every month.
That's right, but then May came and you did not move out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Miss Alexander, what is this?
That's everything that he provided when he sent in that notice, which is also a copy of the email that I provided, and in that email is where the threat is.
I don't. Is this an email from him to y'all?
Correct. You can see at the bottom, it's actually got his information. That was printed and sent with the notice that he planned to vacate. And that's the way we received the notice, that it's not cut off. That's just how we received it.
Okay. All right. So then once you received this, y'all assumed he was going to move out and he didn't.
Correct.
Okay. And Ms. Alexander, there was another exhibit that was provided. What is this one?
That's the first email that I received in February after I served the first eviction notice. And that's when he actually called code compliance, and I'm in contact with code compliance, and they're actually waiting for the eviction to be over so they can clear the case out.
So this is an email that he sent to you about a notice to break lease breach of contract?
Correct.
Okay. And that was in February?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Polk, do you recognize this email?
No, I didn't send that email.
Whose email address is R. Polk Jr. 1962? Did someone have access to your email?
Yes, ma'am. Like
Who's
I told
using your email, sir?
My wife.
That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
I understand that.
All right. So your wife definitely told them that y'all were going to move out, but then y'all didn't move out?
No, ma'am, we did not.
All right. Well, sir, that does meet the bounds of a holdover tenancy. It sounds like, there's reasons you'd want to not renew and leave, which, see those photos. Right. That's not good. All right. Well, Mr. Polk, tell you what, Miss Alexander, I'm going to find in favor of the landlord. I'm going to make a possession only award, though. I'm going to set the appeal bond at, it's been May, so it's $1,600. And either party can seek that appeal. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
Good luck to everyone then. Thank you both very, very much.
Thank you.
All parties are excused.
All right, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Polk.
Now you say on the appeal I have what now?
You have at least 5 days to appeal, and that first day begins tomorrow.
And what do I appeal it at?
You appeal that with our court, and then we send it up to a county court at law, so a different judge in a different court hears the final case.
And I'm trying to figure out to your court, you said?
Correct. We'll email you all that information, so make sure your wife doesn't delete it if she's using your email. We'll also mail it, okay?
I should appreciate you. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you both. I appreciate that.